What's going on, guys? Anthony Olan Tech here, and I have another video game review for you guys. This time I am reviewing the Castlevania Advance collection on the Nintendo Switch. This was a very exciting announcement for me during the Nintendo Direct, as I played some of these games on the GBA growing up, and in my opinion these are some of the best Castlevania games of all time. I never cared for the older games that were released in the previous collection, but if you are someone who wants to try those games, that collection is currently on sale for $4.99 on the eShop. Now, this won't necessarily be a review of these games individually, but more so a review of whether or not this collection is worth the money. Let's start with what's good in this collection. As I mentioned, you are getting some of the best Castlevania games here, 3 of which that were actually released on the GBA, which are Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, and Aria of Sorrow. You also are getting Dracula X, which I believe was a SNES game. Circle of the Moon was actually the first Castlevania game I've ever played, which is by far my favorite one. And I don't have much experience with Aria of Sorrow or Dracula X, and as for Harmony of Dissonance, well, we'll get into that a bit later. This collection is filled with interesting features such as customizing your screen display and having a full soundtrack available. There is also a rewind feature as well as a new gadget system. The rewind feature is more useful in Dracula X, as that game has more of the classic gameplay feeling as well as being the most challenging of this collection. The gadget feature, on the other hand, does vary from game to game. In Circle of the Moon, it does alert you of which enemy contains a DSS card, as well as if you have acquired that card. As for Harmony of Dissonance, that gadget will tell you which key items are available in each area that you explore, and Aria of Sorrow will alert you for which souls you have acquired in that area. The gadget, however, is not available in Dracula X, so do keep that in mind. With this collection, you won't really experience many frame rate issues or slowdowns, which should be obvious. I only, however, experienced some frame rate issues when I was starting out Harmony of Dissonance, but it only happened once. After that, it was just a smooth experience altogether. This collection also has a quick save feature, so you're able to save the game whenever you want and load it right from that point where you saved it. There's also an ability to create replays of what you've done in the game. I haven't really used this feature because I don't really see a point in using that feature at all, but someone out there might find use for it. They also have an art gallery included, as well as 3 different versions of the games, being American, Japanese, and European. I don't know the difference between these different versions besides the language that they play in, as well as changing the region variant of the game will not allow you to continue your save file. You have to go back to the original region that you played on to continue your save file. Now let's talk about the bad here. There really isn't that much wrong with this collection. The gadget feature that I mentioned earlier in this review can be a pain in the ass, as it can block part of the screen in games such as Harmony of Dissonance, as that gadget stays on screen the entire time, thus causing an issue sometimes when looking at the map trying to find a route through the castle. As for Circle of the Moon, that gadget appears every time you hit an enemy that contains a DSS card, and it can be very annoying to see that pop up appear every single time you hit the enemy. The only other option for the gadget is to remove it completely if you want to. I find myself not removing it, especially for Circle of the Moon, because I am trying to collect all the DSS cards, and it is a very helpful tool to do that. As for anything else bad, Harmony of Dissonance and Dracula X are, in my opinion, the weakest of the collection. Dracula X because it is the most dated of the collection, as well as the most hardest in my opinion. And Harmony of Dissonance due to some really ugly colors and textures within the game, as well as some pretty poor level design that I find to be very annoying trying to navigate that castle. But don't let that ruin the fun, because Harmony of Dissonance still gives you a smooth gameplay experience that differs from the other games, and Dracula X does provide that challenge for those who are ready to tackle it. So it is unfortunate that this collection doesn't include the 3 DS games that were released, which was Dawn of Sorrow, which is actually a direct sequel to Aria of Sorrow, as well as Portrait of Ruin and Order of Ecclesia. However, given that these games are here, it does open the door for more Game Boy Advance games to arrive on Switch in the future. Not to mention, we are also expecting Advance Wars to release at some later time, and I would love to see more GBA games releasing on Switch, whether it be in an online bundle or in a package such as this one. This bundle, in my opinion, is well worth the $20 price tag. Even if you're just a casual fan of Metroidvanias, I highly recommend this collection. I am giving the Castlevania Advance collection a 9 out of 10. I'm Anthony Olan Tech, and I will see you guys next time.